If you're doing anything with generative AI, images or videos, then you're probably giving away some kind of sample to your prospective customers. Now, one of the ways to not give away the full value of what it is that you're providing them is to add a watermark. So as you can see in the outline here, what we're going to cover in this video is both one, an image API, and two, a video API. Now the video one is a little bit more advanced, so we'll start with the easy one. Basically, we're going to take a look at the service that we're going to use, grab some API keys or an API key, create a project in there, and then get an API call set up. Then we're going to head over to the video API. We'll look at that one as well. And on both of these, I'll explain the pricing and what it's going to take for you to, add these to your app. And they're both free with some generous free tiers. We're going to set up those API calls, and then we're going to look at a conclusion, which, spoiler alert, stay tuned. There's a 24-hour challenge coming up on the channel where I make an AI logo generation app. So let's dive into our first API here. We are going to head over to the Bubble API connector, go ahead and click add another API, and then let's now take a preview of this particular one. That's the video one. Let's look at the image one. The image one is called Pickney. That is pickney.com. Let's just check out the URL here. So pickney.com/pricing, just to show you off, you have 100 credits per month. So you can get going on this. And then, if you start to have some traction, hey, if you're doing something for someone with over 100 things per month, you've got some good usage. So you could maybe afford, to start to pay because you've got inbound money. Okay, so let's take a look at what you're going to do once you sign in. First, you're going to create a project, and then you're going to note this ID. Then over on your account here, go ahead and grab your API key here, which is we're going to copy to our clipboard. And then now with that all in hand, we're going to head back over here. We're going to call this the image watermark API, and we're just going to expand this out. We have a little bit of some help here to get us set up. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll just say you're going to want to set up your call just like this. Now, easy copy and text stuff will be made available. Check the PDF in the video description, and then let's go get this watermarked image. Let's take a look at these first as well, though. So we can see here that's the watermark. I've already got it made diagonal, so for this one, so take note. And then here is the image that it's going to lay across. So that's it. Let's go ahead and give this a name the Watermark API, Watermark Maker. So that's everything there. Let's go ahead and initialize this call. We can see that it's going to come back here with this image. Let's take a look at that in a browser. And boom. So we can see you can play around with the watermark itself and like how transparent it is and things like that. But I think that it'd be tough for someone to use this particular because of the gradients and whatnot. More power to them if they wanted to take that time, or they could just save the time and purchase it. That's kind of the thing you're aiming for here, right? A final run through of our API call. First, we have the name of it. It is use type action data JSON post to this URL. Authorization with only the API key there. Private's fine. And then this JSON body here with the main image being given as a URL, the watermark being given as a URL. So that does it now on our part here with the image API. Let's go and check out the video API. So we're going to be using this site API.video, and go ahead and make an account, log in there, and then all of this stuff for anyone that doesn't like looking at API documentation. That's what this video is for. Because basically, you can get to see it all set up and done here. So these folks, they charge based upon hosting and delivery of the videos, which we aren't really doing either. We're actually just pulling out a set of API keys, and we're using some of the functionality here. So that's kind of great news, especially for anyone doing anything with generative video, because that is super hot. Okay, so we're gonna check out where to access a webhook, because this one's a little more complex than the other one. So we're going to head over here. We're going to go to Webhooks. what we want to do first and foremost is we're going to start out. So we've got our API key there. We saw on the other screen. It's just over in, we were there. But we want to go over into Bubble. And we want to, so we're going to go ahead and collapse this one. For the image, we'll start another API call here, and this will be the video one. And then we'll go on to what I was saying here on the back end. What we're going to do is we're going to say new API workflow. We'll just give it a Z for this, and we'll say video is ready. Then we're going to go to data request. We're going to go to detect data. We're going to copy this. Then we're going to take it over here in our webhooks. We're going to enter it in here with the initialize on it. We're going to hit it like that. We're going to say create a webhook, and there we go. And we have some stuff down here for testing, so let's just remove this so that we're super clear on what it is we're doing here. This video is ready, initialize. We've added it in here, and we'll see it working in just a moment. But okay, the first thing that we're going to do that this system requires from us is we'll say this is call 1. It is to upload the watermark. So we actually have to get it into the system first, and then it will do its fancy thing. And once again, I'm just going to go ahead and enter these details in, and then you can follow along, for what's on the screen. But since this one is a little bit uncommon, we're actually going to go with form data here, and we're going to add a parameter. That's going to be named file. We're going to choose this option send file. Private is fine. And we're actually going to take the watermark here, and we're going to drop it in to upload it. And then now we're going to send it off. And we're actually going to note this watermark ID because you'll need that in the second call. Here. Okay, so here's our call. Note that authorization, this one has bearer, space, and then your API key. Again, these keys will all be exhausted or deleted out after this video. But, you'll go and get your own is the point. But okay, so with that one first set up, we're good to go there. In fact, you only need to ever do that one once to get your call up there. And then now I'll get the second call set up. Okay, and again, this copy and paste will be available to you. Now, one thing that we want to do here, so here's the whole call. It is call number 2. It's an action JSON post to this URL, all of these headers, and then this as the body. Now, the watermark ID, it actually wouldn't necessarily need to be. In fact, let's do that. We're not going to make it public because it's a one-time entry type of thing. But then the video to be watermarked, if you are using a AI generative video maker, then you will want to take the URL that you have, and you want to make sure that's publicly available, meaning like their servers allow you to get it. Sometimes you want to save it to your own Bubble database prior to doing that. But let's go, and we're going to check out here. So this is back on the back end. We're jumping back to the webhook area where I had this set up. It's over in the system here where we have this webhook. Now we're actually going to see, we wanted to wait until this point to bring it back up so that we see that when we initialize this call here, it's going to do all of this stuff. And we're actually going to store this video ID as well because we're going to want to use that. We're going to hit save here. And then we're going to check out over here that it's going to have a thing sent to it. Yep, there it is. Okay. So all that's happening here, it's letting us know, and it's actually the same exact one here if we compare them one by one. But there's not much information here that is useful except for this video ID. So this video is about the API setup. Now, anyone watching this video, you've worked in Bubble. All I'm giving you here, because basically once this is set up, what we have is, let's look at our watermark ones. We have these now as actions made available, right, to us. So when we do something like this, these will be actions and workflows, right? And then after you do a call to, if we were to say, I don't know, I'm just making this up on the fly, we'll make changes to the current user. Maybe we'll, let's just go with something that for sure is a text. How about, age as text. All right, so that's text. So result of step 1, the video ID. So you'd want to store that somewhere in your database so that when this is hit, you say you have multiple things coming back and we're like, which video is it that's done? Then once it's done, you take the video ID that came back through here, if we look at modified types here, this one here, here, you look that up in your database out of all your video IDs of things that you've sent off. So you want to create a data type that stores each video request, right, with this video ID. I'm not getting into the full nuts and bolts of how to structure your database. That's its own topic in and of itself. I'm just, if you have the structured database, I'm giving you the how-to for using these API workflows, right? Cool. Everyone, we're all together now. All right. So it comes back here. Now, one other thing we'll need to do is we'll actually head back over to this area and we'll generate another webhook. And then we'll delete off initialize and the slash. And so we'll add that one. And then go ahead and delete out this one that has initialize on it because it'll send it there and nothing will happen, but it's just, we're kind of doing house cleaning, as it were. Okay, so now this one is ready to go. And every time that action that you do fires off, you'll have something that comes back and says, hey, it's ready, right? Because you might have, I don't know, like a 4-minute video or something, and it needs to watermark that. So we don't know how long it's going to take. So we can't use a pause or anything like that. So that's what a webhook is great for. All right. So we've uploaded the watermark. We've done the watermark video. And I suppose at this point in time, I'll just jump into here. Kind of forgot about this one. That's okay though. On the image work that we're doing here, we have the image API, and then it comes back to us and we'll save that to the database. Here we've gone through call 1, call 2, the webhook has received it, and then now we're at this point. So this is still worthwhile to take a peek at. Even for my own sake of putting this together so that I knew what to say on this video, we've got this flow going on. So now, once this is completed, let's go get the video that has the watermark on it. Let's do that now. So we'll head back over here, collapse this, we'll add another call. And on this one, it's going to be call number 3. And we're going to use that video ID. It's a get call, not a post call like the other ones. And we'll just head off to this URL here. And the video ID actually gets put in the URL. We definitely don't want that to be private because we want this video.id here, which is going to change every time you do a new video. And it looks like, let's see, we'll want to add some headers. Okay, so these same ones here, and again, all of these copy and paste will be made available in a PDF download. Now we're going to hit internet initialize call, and there we go. So we've got this thing here, and this will be ready. So it's this one right here, this MP4 at the end. So when this is available in a workflow, what you'd actually do is this one would go to this call here. So it'd be call 3 that we named it. And it would take the video ID that is the request data's video ID. Then it will go out, it'll get the video. Then you'll want to just, store it and save it into something. And one thing that we do want to do definitely though, let's head back here. We're going to reinitialize one more time because this one right here, you want to put it as a file. The reason being is that we actually, if it's not a file, we won't be able to, do the thing where you say save to bubble. So let's just see that in action quick over here, and then we'll take a look at what we've got. So if I were to make changes to a thing, find the current user, that's okay. Let's look for something that's maybe a file, profile. Let's go with photo. Maybe this isn't. We'll just see about this. But so we'll go down here, the MP4, and then see this save to bubble storage. That will not be there if you don't specify this as a file, but we want to save it to our system so that way you have it. Okay, cool. That is it. We've done it from all the way to making the call, getting the watermark up there. Any video then that comes through in call number 2 will, get the watermark on it. When that's ready, we'll know about it. Then we'll go get the final video. And in this case, our final video here, we can see that, boom. So the Logo Genie one is on ours. The other watermark there is actually from their system. We just need to upgrade here to production, which we won't do for now. It will require, it's a credit card, but it's free for the processing on this. And there you have it. So for the video watermark call number 1, we can see here that it is an action JSON post to this URL, accept application JSON authorization, bearer space, then your API token or API key, content-type, multi-part form data, body type form data, that's kind of a different one, right? File, upload your value, and then send the file, check that. Video watermark call number 2. We can see here that, again, action JSON post to this URL, accept application JSON, authorization, bearer space token, content type, application JSON, and the body's JSON, where we are sending the watermark ID we received from call number 1. And then the video to be watermarked is set as not private so that we can change that out every time we have a new video that we want to be watermarked. Video watermark call number 3, the final look. We can see that again, action JSON. It is a get call and it is to this URL here where we have the angle, straight brackets around the video ID. Video ID is unchecked for private, so that way we can put the video ID that comes from call number 2 into it. Once we get the webhook response, accept application JSON, authorization, bearer, token, content type, application JSON, and that's it. So if you are using generative AI for making images or videos, a watermark is a great way to give someone the full experience of something while maintaining the integrity of the value that you're providing, meaning the integrity of like, hey, if you would like this value, pay for it because it's valuable. So that all being said, as conclusion, stay tuned on the channel because coming up is a 24-hour challenge where you'll see me build an AI logo generation app. And yes, we get some cool stuff like this. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for updates about Bubble tutorials, and thanks for watching.